So my demo will be about our Orchard Core API client project. This project is it's a client library for communicating with the Orchard Core web APIs, and currently it contains an implementation for the tenant and content management APIs. I think I already did a demo about this project, but back then we only had the tenant APIs covered, but now this is a new addition, the content API as well. I won't bore you with all the details. Basically, we are using the built-in OpenID feature for authorization, and this is extensible. So if you want to, you can also implement your own custom API calls very easily. I will show you briefly the code. This is the contents API client class, which is derived by the API client class. This is an iDisposable, and we are basically just implementing this. And if you want to, as I said, extend this, you can easily extend it with your own custom stuff as well. This is the interface which implements the content API calls. We are using Refit, yes, because it makes the API calls easy, and it's a type-safe REST library. And this is the base class for every interface which implements the API calls. And we have a little program.cs here for demonstration purposes. I will show you it in action. This just creates a tenant and sets it up, and later it will also edit that tenant. And finally, it will just create a taxonomy and create or edit that taxonomy's display text. So I just enabled the necessary features for it. As I said, we need the OpenID, and specifically we are using client credentials flow. And as you can see, there is only the default tenant, and we don't have any content items yet. But if I will run the tester application, it should create the necessary stuff. And as you can see, it created and also edited the new tenant, which we have here. And it also created and edited the taxonomy as well. I think that's pretty much it. But if you have anything to add, Zoltán, feel free to say.
Not really. Thank you.
Why didn't you use the API to enable all the necessary features?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
You said I enabled the necessary features before you run the code.
Yes, we have a recipe for that, but I didn't want to make the demo longer with also running that recipe.
But you could have used an API to enable all the necessary features.
Oh, I see. I see.
That's cool. It made me think about something totally with no value, but that's a funny story. So last year, when we worked on .NET/extensions, where HTTP resilience is coming from now, using Poly and all the .NET extensions, the new .NET extensions repository, there was a feature to generate some HTTP client code to do API calls from interfaces. And then we were like, but isn't it what Refit is doing? and the people who wrote it looked at refit and they said, yeah, that's exactly the same thing. So we cut the feature totally from the repository because refit was already doing everything, if not in a better way. So it was cut off the project. So refit is cool. So I liked the fact that you use it.
By the
Source
way,
generating.
there's- And there's also a tool called Refitter that can generate refit code for your API from a Swagger OpenID definition.
Yep. I'm sure some people don't get the distinctions. That might be something to talk about one day to show refit. Or if you don't know refit, just look at what refit does and then refitter, just to understand what it's very simple in terms of concept, but super useful. That's cool. That's cool. Thank you.